You don't sit there and tell me what to give you or what to do. You are suspect. You have the left boosting you, the left loving you, the left promoting you with your royal husband, who we're about to expose. So get ready for that, George. So we figured you out. We got your number, and you can't stand the fact that you've run this big psyop and now it's coming to an end.
My beloveds, welcome back to the Nissim Black Show. My honor, my pleasure to be here, to be with all of you and to serve you, to speak with you and talk to you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's happening. It is happening. The moment that we all saw coming, it's happening. It's happening right now. The soap opera, the I don't know what you call it, the movie of Candace Owens, the private investigator, it's almost over. It's almost over. And we knew it was going to happen, but it may happen in a way that we just weren't expecting it. Now, I had all these different scenarios of what I had thought in my head. I had all my imaginations. I didn't share them with you because then I'd be almost as bad as her. But from within the world of grifters, the world of the what do you call them? The conspiracy theorists, the people on her own team are turning one by one. She's just taking it a little bit too far. Now, the truth of it is, you and I, we already knew that this was all garbage from the beginning. We all knew this. It was garbage already. But for other people, it takes them a while to wake up. Now, a few different clips I want to share with you today. One of them is shout out to Fabian. Fabian at Fabian Political, I think, at Fabian Politician or Politics on Twitter. Anyway, he shared a crazy video I seen circulating a couple of days ago. Listen, I'm be honest with you. I have had Candace fatigue. I really have. I haven't been able to talk about her. I didn't want to hear her. I didn't want to see her face. So it took me some time to just sort of like get back into the knowing. I mean, because unfortunately, you know who said? I think Ben said it. Ben Shapiro said that by listening to people like her, you become intellectually impoverished. We'll just say that for lack of a better term. But look at what he did. Put together a cool clip. I don't know if he put it together, somebody else put it together. It's very Milk Bar-esque. So I don't know if he put it together or not. But I want to show Fabian character who's actually reacting to what she said about slavery. And then you'll see what she said years ago about slavery herself.
I am going to let Candace Owens fact check herself.
I challenge Black Americans, wake up and learn the true history of slavery. Jewish people were the ones that were trading us. Jewish people were in control of the slave trade.
And now for a brief history of slavery. Slavery existed in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. Millions of them, all white by the way, were captured and enslaved by Muslims in the 9th century and later by the Ottoman Turks.
They think that we're animals, that they have a right to own us, that they have a right to make us worship them, that they have a right to lie to us.
Slavery existed when the Roman Empire controlled the Mediterranean and most of Europe from the 1st through the 5th centuries. Slavery existed when Alexander the Great conquered Persia in the 4th century BC. It was so common that Aristotle simply considered it natural. The slave-master model was just how the world operated in the great philosopher's day. Slavery existed during the time of the ancient Egyptians 5,000 years ago, as far back as we can go in human history.
I think all of us need to wake up to this because it's making me absolutely sick.
Well, that was easy.
Now, here's something people don't like to talk about. Trauma heals better in communities. Studies show that strong social support can reduce the risk of long-term PTSD by up to 40%. That matters right now. Mayor Bonding doesn't just provide food. Their branches are community hubs. They have 5 restaurant-style soup kitchens that feed over 1.2 million people. But just as important, people are known by name. They are seen. They're supported. They're not alone. Healing happens when people aren't isolated. Your year-end gift doesn't just feed bodies. It helps steady lives. Please partner with Mayor Bonding and feed the poor of Israel and Jerusalem. So go to mayorponding.org/Nissim to help today. That's MEIRPANIM.org/NISSIM. It's insane to me that people actually think, I'm going to give you my thoughts honestly. It's insane to me that people actually think that a person like Candace Owens, literally like Candace Owens, could be a conduit or be used or can be an instrument in dividing the right. I don't think that she's looked at so much as a person that's on the right, or even if she is. Let's say this, because she has a lot of support from the Democrats, actually. Even if she is, I don't think people take her that serious. And I think the majority of the people that are watching her were not Trump supporters. I just really don't. I don't think that they had anything to do with Charlie Kirk. I mean, think about this. You think the game who put out the song about Candace Owens who shot Charlie Kirk, right? You think the game voted for Donald Trump? You think the game was on? I'm not saying he couldn't have been. I mean, look at Cardi B. She's, I mean, two different people, but I'm just saying, I just don't know if she's actually reaching the audience. And for that fact of the matter, all these other nefarious characters also. I'm not so sure that things are actually being divided. I think that if you actually went around, I actually got a comment the other day from one of you beautiful people who said that I really, everybody I talked to, this person said, has no idea who Nick Fuentes is, and I've had the same experience. You know how many people have even reached? I mean, read the comments. Sometimes people are like, I never heard of this guy. Who is he? Right? They're not paying attention to who these people are. They don't know them. I haven't followed Candace in years. They have no idea about what's going on. So I'm not so sure that these people have the power that we think they have. But apart from this, Candace is losing followers. Now, Evan Kilgore, who has been one of her fan boys, going down this pipeline of conspiracy with Candace, has actually now backtracked. He's saying that he can no longer go on with Candace and all of her shenanigans that she's been putting out. Now, he didn't say it like that, but he's backing out. Now, that's a dagger. I mean, that was her, I guess, what was it? Star wide receiver, I would say. Star wide receiver. And he's backed out. He's saying that he can no longer go with the investigation. She's done several questionable things. She brings on this guy who's abusive, just a guy a guy that's just a person of bad character, right? She brings this guy on. There's no credibility whatsoever. I mean, she's just losing it. But I want you to see what Evan Kilgore says to her on Twitter as he decides that he is no longer in the race for her vice president. So Evan writes on Twitter, "Good morning, everyone. I wanted to get on here and say something I know will open myself up to thousands of hate comments for it. It says, that is okay with me. What I want to let you know is that after a great deal of thought and conviction, I can no longer support the direction of the real Candace Owens investigation. I've always been interested in a possible alternative narrative to Charlie Kirk's assassination. I have likely been her biggest supporter on X, sharing her clips and watching her show every day since Charlie Kirk's death. Many of her questions, concerns, and criticism I have agreed with. In fact, virtually all of them, until Mitch Snow." This is the guy. She just blew it. Eventually it was going to happen. Anyway, while watching Mitch share his testimony of what he allegedly saw at Fort Hop, I'm not even going to try that, at this Fort place, everything felt off about it to me. And I began to dig into Mitch Snow myself and immediately came across red flags. I simply voiced my concerns that Mitch may be lying to Candace, and was immediately met with hundreds of hate replied, and even Candace Owens herself condemning me for looking into his past and who he says he is. That immediately felt like maybe there was some legitimacy into looking into if Mitch could be considered a credible source. So I reached out to several of Mitch's former partners and friends to verify the story that Mitch is telling to the world about who he is and the serious accusations he is making about who and what alleges he saw. This is 2 nights ago. They responded to me and shared dozens of messages, stories, and debunked many claims Mitch has made. They even provided me with a police report about an active case against him. Mitch, on all accounts of everyone who knows him personally, including his own family, is a compulsive liar, manipulator, abuser, victim, and all-around fraud and horrible human being. He is a psychopathic narcissist, I believe, in the true sense. And after sharing what those in his life told me about him, I've been met with thousands of hate comments, completely smearing me and making the most vile accusations against me I've ever seen. I know this is not Candace directing her followers to say these things, but it is the culture she's created, and I cannot support it. That is very important, very important. She is not responsible for the behavior of her followers, though. In the past 48 hours, I've been accused of being paid off, being a pedophile, getting the call, being a Fed, being a CIA asset, and many more things. Do you all realize how insane and delusional you are getting? For merely questioning and looking into if Mitch Snow is being honest about who he saw, do you not see the irony, hypocrisy here of how you're behaving when people ask their own questions and do their own investigation? So some of you are not actually interested in the truth and are interested in your confirmation bias. Many have spoken out about Mitch, not because not because they're paid, but because his story is falling apart and haven't felt right about him. It's not a conspiracy. Mitch is just likely a fraud, like he has always been. And people are cautioning Candace. I know she truly believes she is onto something, and it's okay to disagree with her on this one. I do not believe Mitch Snow is the lead we should be trusting. His story is falling apart. People he claims to have seen are providing alibis, and his past screams that he is a habitual liar looking for attention. I know that it's hard to accept, and many of you won't. And he continues. We'll read the last little bit because it's only a little bit. He said, I also know many of you, likely thousands, will hate on me for this and continue to hurt accusations and criticisms of me. I know the risk of speaking up and have known many of you could turn on me for disagreeing with Candace on something. But as of now, I do not support where Candace is headed and caution her to prayerfully take heed to some of her biggest supporters' concerns about Mitch Snow and provide more public evidence about his past, the government cases against him, and the alleged cartel members trying to harm him that will allow for more people to believe what he's told her. God bless. Now, down here, see my boy Bryson Gray. He said, I knew this would come, but this is also a culture you helped create with her. So some responsibility is on your end. So, ladies and gentlemen, it just is what it is. You know, you can't continue to tell lies and think that you're going to have the audience, which people are going to see. People are going to see it for what it is. And this is just, I think right now, Mr. Kilgore here, he's being very gracious. He's going to see at some time. And this is the craziest part about it. Aren't they the ones that are just asking the questions? So when you start asking questions on their questions, then what happens? All of her minions, her legions of people that are all supporting her start to attack you for asking questions, because you're allowed to ask questions as long as you don't ask questions about Candace. If you ask questions about Candace, if you ask questions about the bogus investigation that she's conducting, then you got issues. But if you're going to ask the same question she's asking, then it's okay. Now here, this is what I'm talking about. There's a double standard. People, listen to me. The lady is complete evil. She's evil. Period. And when you are an evil person, you attract those type of people. So these are the type of people, that cult-like following that she tried. Now, I honestly believe this. I'm going to give you my honest assessment. After she met with Erica Kirk, I genuinely believe she wanted to stop. I believe she wanted to stop. I believe she probably at that point, there was something in her that made her feel human and she wanted to stop, and she didn't know how she was going to try to do this pull down. The moment she gave any type of breath of any moment that she was going to maybe change directions, her audience would not let her. Her audience wouldn't let her because, as he said, you have built a culture of people like this. You have built a culture of villains that they only see evil. They only see, and these are the people that, like I'm saying, these are the people you don't want to build a big tent with. So all this miss me with all of this, oh, we need to keep the right together and whatever. Nobody wants to be sharing a Republican party with people who are listening to Candace, who are screaming on people because they're asking questions about this Mitch Snow character and these nefarious claims that she's making. Nobody wants to be in a tent with them. So everybody needs to stop. With all of this, no, we need this, it's breaking up the coalition. It's not true. This lady is headed for destruction, and it's happening. It's happening slowly, but when it hits that tilt, she's gonna go down. It's gonna happen very, very fast. And also, one of the people that she's admired for many, many years, constantly quoting, always quoting Alex Jones, right? Alex Jones himself, he's had enough. He's had enough. He feels, he's under the impression that it's actually destroying the party and it's damaging the party. I think that's somewhat of his motivation. But a part of that is like, maybe he feels like a lot of us, you're not just going to continue to, insult our intelligence. So Alex Jones had what to say about this. I have somewhat of a long clip about it from him. He says a few different things, but I mean, I'm so happy to see, once you see people like him, now, you know, as the saying goes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. We are not, I'm not an Alex Jones fan. I'm just not. He's, he's a conspiracy theorist, but he's the king. He's a king. And I think that, maybe Candace is, rubbing up a little bit too much towards his crown. So he had to say something, but check out what he had to say.
Fighter, I don't do stunts. I'm well known for that. But Candace Owens continues to make claims about Egyptian planes and then about hit teams in Fort Huachuca and 12 colonels, and this guy wanders in and they're planning the killing of Kirk, and this congressman's there, and Erica Kirk's there, and the head of their security's there. And then I spent good money getting the actual flight data, the professional data, and it's like all lies. And I published it a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks, and say, hey, I'm worried here, Candace. Her surrogates, all with the same talking points within 5 hours, attack me. I'm not dumb. When I see the same thousands of people with the same attacks, I'm like, holy hell, you wrote up a script for them and you did that. That's professional.
It just is what it is. Just like this guy was saying until that Kilgore. The main thing is that people need to understand she's built a culture of crazy people, a culture of people that are following the cult of Candace, right? These people, they in themselves, they're not there. So therefore, the way that they see the world, they're already giving you everything in the world is either you're paid for, you're bought, you're some type of CIA agent. You're going to hear the same thing over and over again. I don't know how much, listen, first off, nothing that Alex Jones is saying that is going to be something that really sticks. We're not looking at him as the bearer of truth. However, one thing I will say is that he's right in the sense that this is garbage. This is complete nonsense. Now, if the nonsense guy could tell you that you're nonsense, and he's been right on some things, I'm not going to say that Alex Jones never right about anything, but we know that he is what he is. So basically, if he's calling you on your stuff, he's calling you on your stuff, Candace. It is what it is. It's over. It's over.
I know professional attacks when I see them. The question is, who's paying for it? She's married to a British lord. Paul Watson, my co-host, discovered her. Had her to town 10 years ago. She's done a lot of great work. I'm not trying to destroy Candace. But I know a concerted attack when I see one. I know professionalism when I see it. Then she has this Snow character that says he just is at Fort Huachuca the day before Kirk's killed in Arizona. And he wanders into this secure skiff you can't even get into with up 3 levels. There's armed guards. He walks in, there's 12 colonels, and then there's all these people. And then last week, Candace says, oh, I thought maybe this Daily Wire guy's there. She sends him a photo, and Mitch Snow says, oh, he was there too.
You can't make this stuff up. He was there too. Oh my goodness. I mean, oh my goodness, the audacity. Guys, this is like reality TV right now. People, when I was a kid and I saw WWF wrestling, or WWE now, I think it's called today, I knew it was fake. When they came out with this documentary basically exposing the WWE, how it was fake or whatever the case, it's like, who would have been surprised by that? We all knew it was fake. Nobody thought that this was like real people, like they're really hitting him with the cheers. He's really bleeding. It was fake, and it was easy to tell. Scripted TV today, or unscripted TV, I'm sorry, reality shows, aka reality shows, are not real. They're not real. It's not reality, right? It's realistic, but it's not reality, right? They're trying to make things, and even realistic is even a stretch to be able to call what it is, because a lot of people know that it's fake, or other people, they don't. They sit up there and they watch hours and hours again, over and over again, and they're really trying to imagine in their mind that this is a real story. This person's really dating them, or this person really is this, this wonderful singer that came in off the streets, or whatever. They call people up, they audition them long before they ever. I'm not gonna say what I have to say. Anyway, Candace Owens' show is no different than any of these things, right? It looks fake. It smells fake. It is what it is. She's pure entertainment. The people that are falling for this, these are like these crazy, this is how you need to see her fans. These crazy WWE, WF fans. And I'm not saying everybody's crazy, because I was a fan also, but I was a fan that knew it was fake. I wasn't one of those fans that believed that it was real. So anytime you have somebody question her, then you're going to get attacked by these people, because these are the fans that are diehard fans, that they have become so delusional that they're looking at things that they can tell is fake, but they forget it. They throw it out of their mind and they start believing it in the first place. So this guy comes over here and he tells anything she asks him, oh yeah, he was there too. Oh yeah. He was there too. Just validating her, just trying to get some airtime on her show. And she's going for it. I can't believe this.
He's like a vending machine. You just give him the name and that's it. Then it turns out he's got 5 women with restraining orders. His kids going public against him. All these name changes. All this time in prison, in jail for beating up women. And they go, well, it is true, though, for the record, he was a Green Beret for 1 year. Yeah, 250-pound Green Beret. He claims these women have enslaved him and then all this. This guy is the biggest joke ever. And now her followers have come out, a bunch of them, more today, and said, I'll show you. We don't care if Mitch Snow's wrong. We back Candace. So even when they were faced with the fact that this is all a lie, they say, we don't care. And they say, we're going to get all of you. Then they hide behind Ben Shapiro attacking her. Ben Shapiro attacks me. And they say, oh, you work for Israel. I never worked for the Daily Wire run by the Mossad like she did.
There goes Alex Jones. It's ran by the Daily Wire. It's not ran by the Mossad. Okay, whatever the case is. But this is this is the person, right, who can smell that Candace is off. I'm saying you take one off person, can tell you who else is off, right? They can tell you in a second because they're already off. They got some screws that's already loose. So they can tell you who the next person is who also got the screws loose.
So that's where we are. And then Kevin Kilgore, who's been one of her biggest supporters, he simply comes out and says, I've looked at this Mitch Snow, who's admitted all this, and this doesn't sound credible to me. I have a problem. Candace, we ought to drop this. And then he says, Candace, I know this is not Candace attacking me. This is a couple days ago. You're not supposed to do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, it just is what it is. This is what's happening right now, and what you are seeing is the breakdown. And the breakdown that has to come. Why? Because all of those who stand up against God, and what I mean by against God, you can say, oh, Candace, she's a Catholic. She's a that. Now, I don't know how anything she is, to be honest. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how much she's a this or that or whatever the case is. But she stands up against the Jewish people. She stands up against the God of the Bible, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Very much so. For all the nonsense of the rhetoric, she has become completely something different than everybody knows, and we've all seen it. She has become an enemy of God, is what she has done. Doing what she's doing to Erica Kirk and to their family, to TPUSA, and to others, many others. I don't even care about the Macron. They're not me. I don't do the Macrons even. I don't do Frenchies over there. Not the Frenchies, not French people. I'm talking about the government over there. Not a factor. But you talk about a person who literally has come to destroy. That's all she's doing. To destroy others in order to build her platform. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a person that is against God, and she will absolutely fall. And I tell you this, and this is one thing you're going to start seeing about all these other people. Say I'm crazy, say I'm not. Once And it's just documented throughout history. And I'm going to go through, I have a clip I want to share with you, not today, but I'm going to show you on another episode, just because it would be very lengthy for us to go through it. But you are going to see all of those who have all throughout history have stood up against the Jewish people or against the land of Israel. They have faced their demise. It has always happened. Doesn't even have to be militarily, but God's going to handle it because he made a promise many, many years ago. He made a promise. So all of them will fall one by one. That's how I'm so confident on it. I can be very, very confident. Mordecai goes to Esther and he says to Esther that if you do not stand up, if you do not do for the people at this moment, then God's going to raise up somebody else. How could he have been so confident? Because God made a promise. God made a promise. And he'll be good, and he does good on all of his promises. So that's how it is that I could be sure that Candace and the Tuckers and the Qatars and all of these other people, the enemies of the people and the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, I can guarantee you will meet their fall. Your year-end gift can make an immediate difference. Mayor Panim distributes 125,000 holiday pantry boxes every holiday and 3,000 challahs every single week for Shabbat. This support reaches families in crisis, IDF soldiers, and survivors who deserve dignity and not charity lines. This is practical help delivered locally, coordinated with city welfare offices so nothing falls into the cracks. As this year closes, don't look away from quiet suffering. Stand with people who need real support right now. Partner with Mayor Panim and be a part of this amazing, amazing work. So go to mayorpanim.org/Nissim to help today. That's MEIRPANIM.org/NISSIM. More from our I guess now, what do we call him now? I guess we call him a friend, Alex Jones right now, for the moment. While he's on this train, we'll rock with him while he's on this train, but we'll hop him right back off as soon as it's over.
Erica Trump just flew 2 weeks ago on an airplane to kiss your in Tennessee and asked you to stop doing this and gave you all this then. So now your own minions say, listen, we're not endorsing this criminal, this horrible person. And you say, who coordinated you? Who told you? And the guy clicks his heels and goes, I'll release everything on my phone, mommy. I'll show you, mommy. Let me give Candace Owens a little news flash here. You don't sit up there on some hill and tell me who ate the cabbage. You don't sit there and tell me what to give you or what to do. You are suspect. You have the left boosting you, the left loving you, the left promoting you with your royal husband, who we're about to expose. So get ready for that, George. So,
yes, there are allegations actually right now that, at least allegedly, that it could be that somebody's saying that it's out. It's going to be out soon. And I'm going to look up and I'm going to follow this as much as I can, that perhaps George Farmer is he swings that way. And has been say over here, so that he is allegedly has some sexual harassment case towards male staff. So I'm just letting you know that. I don't know if that's what they're going to expose, but this has been alleged towards Mr. Farmer.
We figured you out. We got your number, and you can't stand the fact that you've run this big psyop and now it's coming to an end. This isn't about protecting TPUSA or Trump or anybody. It's about protecting the truth. And it's about us not sitting there dancing to the Pied Piper's lie of what you've done. I broke on the 16th from 2 sources in the White House that were scared to tell us that Kash Patel said, I don't want Tulsi Gabbard's information about domestic or foreign help they had intel on. That's real. And it came out a month later. That's real stuff, lady. Not some crazy scammer, stolen valor, fraud, beating up all these women in prison for it with a fake name, telling you that they're all in this kill meeting. You even know about kill meetings? They got 12 colonels and everybody's roped in from security and their dog knowing about it? That's not how it works. In real killings, they just go, and it's like 2 people in the room. Just day one, I knew it was bull. and all your minions with their talking points and obvious big funding to do this, I love it because I'm coming after all of you. Because the only way the Democrats can try to take this country down is by infighting and by infiltrating and by opening the drawbridge to the barbarians. And it's not going to happen.
And that is the infiltration. Infiltration is people like Candace. It is starting to show, and I'm being honest with you, it is starting to show that she was never real. She was never real, contrary to what people believe, contrary to what I thought, what many of us probably thought, many of us who listened to her before. I'm starting to see what people are saying, that Candace Owens was probably always a grifter. Wherever she was, she seems to have been on some type of extreme. Whatever she can do to basically make people think that she's got this nuance, this crazy idea, wherever it was. I mean, whether it was the doxing, I heard some crazy stuff about when she was a leftist. I'm not going to bring up all the stuff that if I don't got documentation, I'm just not going to bring it. Then I end up like her. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so interested to know what all of you think about this, please. So make sure, leave a comment, spam the comments and let me know your thoughts. Did I miss anything? Is there more going on? I need to know. I just have not been able to follow her just because and even here, I didn't show any clips of her personally because I can't keep looking at this lady anymore. I can't. I feel genuinely like I'm losing brain cells watching Candace Owens. Anyway, like, subscribe, make sure you leave a comment, hit the notification bell, and remember, ladies and gentlemen, always to serve God or to live trying. I'm out.